programming is a list of instructions. For example, I have a question like for example, I have some instructions are there. I need to give a instructions to a computer. So how it is possible to give directly? The computer is not accepting any kind of the language. All people we know, everyone. So we don't have any particular language to understand the computer programming, like a zeros and ones only understanding the computers, right? So how we can give the instructions means we need some kind of the programming language. Okay, so that programming language can try to convert our instructions to a binary system like a zeros and ones, and it can try to execute the computer. So whatever it may be the backend. So we don't want to discuss, but one thing, if you want to provide any instructions or anything, okay, it can try to execute in a backend. That is called as a statements. Okay, the collection of the instructions while writing in a language, in a programming language, we are writing some of the instructions. So that instructions we call as a statements. Okay, so that a JavaScript program is a list of programming statements. For example, if I need to use a programming statements, I need to use like a I need to declare some of the variables, I need to populate some of the field values, I need to display something. Okay, so these all areas we need to go and we are ready to just find out the information about the particular any statement values. Like a I'll show that. See, main first statement is you need to use a semicolon after declaration of the variables, whatever it may be. One statement has completed, then definitely you can use a semicolon. If you don't, if you are not using the semicolon, then it will raise the error. That's it. So that is a basic terminology, basic thing we can so keep in our mind because of the reason. So everyone can write the code. Everyone knows that all the values. If they miss to write a semicolon after the statement, then automatically what will happen? The error will try to generate. So that's the reason. Once we see here the example we given, in that example, what it will be there, See, first of all, let a comma b comma c. What is mean by let a comma b comma c means we are declaring the variables. So I'll go with a practical example. I'll go with a practical example. I need to just give a simple logic to you. For example, I'll start a information. I'll start. I think someone has joined. Just a minute. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay. Right. Now let's we continue. Okay, I'll go with a simple practical example. Okay, I need to just explain some of the people name. I'm not going to say people name. For example, I want to give a some instructions. For example, you should not go there. You can okay stay here. So these kind of instructions I'm giving, but you are not initialize the particular name of the person. You are not mention any person name. For example, simply I'm giving the instructions. Yes, you go and sit there. So this kind of instructions I'm giving to the computer, but I'm not giving any so a name of the particular action. Okay, so XYZ, for example, XYZ person is there. Yes, XYZ person can sit here. Means okay, fine. So the computer can also can identify yes, these kind of the variables already initialized, like a naming of the particular any data. Okay, so now here the declaring the variables means any code. If you write any scripting, so you need to initialize first, means naming. So as per our so humans, each and everyone has a particular name. Okay, so one name is there for each and every person. Is it right or not? So same as this here the variable is having the particular declaration. If you declare the variable as an integer, as a floating point number, as a character, whatever it may be, as a string, you can declare it. So that declaration is the first and starting point of your code. Okay. So then let a comma b comma c is a three variables I already declared. Okay, and last by ending of this statement, then what I given? So I given a semicolon. That is very important. Okay, fine. So this line was completed clearly. So then I'll go with a is equals to 5 is there. Okay, I think someone also joined. Right. Okay. Right. Now you can see, we'll continue. Sorry for that. Okay. So now A is equals to pi is there. Why I given the A is equals to pi means initialization was completed. Then I'll ready to assign the right side number to a left side value, whatever it may be. For example, A is a variable, I said. The A is a variable, the right side pi is a number and is a numerical value. I'm assigning the pi into the A variable. Okay, so A is storing the pi number in it. So then the B is also there. The B is storing a 6 value and C is equals to the combination or like a sum of the 5 and 6 will be assigning into the C variable. So here the equal operator is showing as a assigning operator. It's not for the comparison operator. You just keep in your mind because ServiceNow side, if you write any code, equal means that is the assigning. And that too, so you can observe that if you want to write any equality, so here the A is equals to 5 is there now. The 5 is the right side value is assigning into a left side. So for example, if I go with a practical scenario, so in a notepad, I'm ready to write. Okay, just a minute. Okay. So in this notepad, I'm trying to write some values like a var. So here the var is nothing but variable. Okay, it's a declaration. I'll say that in the next. So just 2 to 3 minutes, I'll explain var means. So var, for example, a is equals to 5. I'm assigning. Otherwise, a is a single variable. I already just declared, and a is equals to 5. I given. That's fine. Means the left side value is a variable and right side value is a value which we need to keep in a variable. So that is the reason. And next one, if I go with a, for example, I need to give a phi is equals to a. It's a big mistake. It's a wrong. The reason, this the left side value is a variable, but the left side value I'm not giving a variable, the numerical value I given. And the right side is assigning to the a value into the 5. It's a big mistake. So the what it means compiler is showing as a error while you are giving a this kind of the command. That's the reason logical errors are occurring while giving some kind of the little bit changes. Also, we may get error. So that is like a equal is nothing but assigning operator. That too we can use the left side is a variable, right side is the value. That is the reason. And now let's we go with a okay, so we have some one more condition is also there. So these are all the conditions we need, which we need to utilize in a JavaScript. Okay, for example, while writing a code, we need to give a space or not. Yes, so we need to provide a spaces. I need to just provide. For this reason, I'm ready to just show in a online compilers. So I'm using a online compilers like a JavaScript online compilers are there. I need to utilize this JavaScript online compilers, the backend how it should be ready to present. So you can see, for example, this is online compilers are there. So when I ready to write a code in a left side, then the result will be showing in a right side. Okay. So what I said, the variable var x is equals to, see here, x is equals to or otherwise a comma b comma c. Three variables I declared, right? Then good. So A is equals to I assigned 5 and then B is equals to and in a space I given 6 here. So see the difference between the A and B, you can see the C is equals to I given as A plus B in this value. Okay, then I need to display alert. So what is the value C need to display? Okay, so if I try to run this one, what is the answer? I know that 5 plus 6 is nothing but 11. Okay, it's good. So it is showing the value but semicolon. That is the reason. Okay, so 11 is good. And here, the big difference is there. For example, I given A is equals to 5 without spaces. See here, I given next one is a B is equals to with a space and we given 6 number. So is it any error will come? No. So empty spaces, the spaces is not considerable in your JavaScript. If you give a space or without giving any space also, so no worries. So you can write any area. Okay, now. So if you use a multiple spaces also, it cannot be calculated and it cannot be showing any errors. So that is the reason. The first one, what we learned. So first one is the semicolon is very important. So use the semicolon. So after completion of the one statement, then initialization is very important, because if you write any code, you initially you can initialize the variable. Then multiple spaces also it can be acceptable in a JavaScript. So that is the fundamental things we need to understand. Okay. Then okay, it's fine. Empty spaces also it can acceptable. Then I'll show this one like a statements are there. You can see here like empty spaces are there in this area. Just I given one example, I shown one example. Let person is equals to with space of hedge and without space of that hedge I given, both are same, both are equivalent, because if you give a space or without space also it can be acceptable. And next one, just now what I said, the var is nothing but it's a variable. Okay, so you need to define a particular variable name as per the naming convention rules. So naming rules also there. For example, I need to declare the name. So as per our okay terminology, I need to give a any name means no, it's not acceptable. So we have some kind of the rules are there to give a variable names. Okay. So for example, I need to just say I'll show to you var. Okay. For example, I'm giving a num. Okay, so this is acceptable. Okay, so if I'm ready to give a for num, is it possible means it's a big mistake. It's not acceptable. So that's why I'm saying that variable names also having some rules are there. What are the rules we need to discuss first of all? So for this reason, I'll go and I'll check it once you see. See here, the names can be contain letters, digits, underscores, and dollar signs. If you want to give a variable name, you can give any letter, whatever it may be, like a lowercase, uppercase, whatever it may be. So you can give, and as well as the digits also. The digits means like a 1, 2, 3, 4, any digits you can provide, and underscores also you can provide, and dollar signs also you can provide. Whatever it may be, these all are acceptable, but the condition they given in the next line, you can see names must begin with a letter. Okay, why we need to use a names begin with a letter means we have some conditions are there. Okay, you definitely you can use the letters only, begin with the letters. Okay, if you don't want to use a letters, what happening in that area? Okay, I'll show in a notepad. For example, so this is what I said, this is absolutely wrong. So you should not use this as a variable name. Reason, if you use it any kind of this kind of particular numbers or special characters or anything, automatically it can write to against of your rules of your variable names or naming conventions, whatever it may be. So that's the reason you can use any, for example, n for is there. It's okay, fine. So you can use, because the starting letter is your starting one is a variable name which start with a numerical, sorry, alphabetical value. Any just letter, uppercase letter or lowercase letter, whatever maybe you can use. But I have one question to you, because so just you can think in a service now, for example, var dollar sign. Okay, so for example, short description I given. So you can see that you will see understood description. Okay, so this kind of the queries sometimes we are ready to provide. So that's why the dollar sign is not acceptable to keep in front of a variable name, where we can use, so this you can use in your ServiceNow side, where we are using as a any email notification. Any email notifications, you can write the field name with a dollar symbol. Okay, so that's the reason. So that area we can use the dollar sign before of your field name. So that's why. So it's not possible to use in your variable name, means dollar signs and as well as underscores also. These two also we are not possible to use in your service now. But in a JavaScript, other than ServiceNow side, you can use a dollar sign as well as underscores also. But we are discussing about only for the ServiceNow side. That's why I'm saying to you all. So it's not a good process to use a dollar sign and as well as so underscore before the variable name. What I'm saying that before the variable name, it's not good. So in between the variable, you can write anything. For example, the var. Okay, where for example, num is there, num $4, un is there. So you can utilize no issue. So no, it is not giving any error. So that's the naming conventions. And next one, for example, I need to give a space in between the variable name. Okay, so these kind of the variable name I given and I have given space. Then automatically, if I just write a record I given, right? So this is a variable name. Absolutely wrong. This is because of the reason, the variable name is not containing any spaces. The variable name is not to contain any spaces between the variable name, not for the variable and space. That is different. Okay. So I think some people they may feel that. So Sir said that empty spaces is not calculated. Yes, empty spaces is not calculated, but between the variable name is not possible to give a variable spaces. So that's the big okay, so important thing. So that's why we can see in a practical really it is not acceptable. Okay, we can see I'll write a practical code var initialization, variable initialization, and var just now what I said num. Okay, num record. For example, I given like this. So absolutely wrong. It will give a error once you see. So what does that means? Unexpected identifier is there. So what does it means? It will calculate only NUM only. The record is not identified. So that's the reason. What does it means? That is a empty spaces is not acceptable in your variable name. If I want to replace, for example, I want to write a space because I need to just, if I remove the space, num record, I'm not getting a proper meaning of your variable name. How it is possible to give a space? That's the reason we have some alternative is there. What kind of alternative is there? Num record. I need to just see separately, but the backend scripting has to identify without spaces. Understood now? So normal people can read, okay, yes, that num and space record is there. Okay, fine. We can understand. But the backend script also can able to fill the gap. Simple. How it is possible? I'll give a underscore in between the field names, like sorry, variable names. So then how it should be look like that? Num underscore record is looking like a so empty space if I see, but actually the compiler doesn't have empty space. It cannot be identified any empty space because underscore is also some values are there in a backend. So that's the reason it should be look like a by looking in say empty space is there. By looking by ServiceNow side, like a compiler is not having any empty space. That's the reason underscores we can use. Okay, and then we'll go with a next one is a special characters are not used as a variable name. What is the special characters? I'll say one thing to you. For example, var is a special character. Is it right or not? Var variable. So that is a JavaScript character. Like a var is a one symbol for declaring of your variables. But if I ready to use a var and again variable name is also var, it won't accept. So if I just give like this, you can see unexpected token var. So means the special values are not taken. Special, what does it means? Variable name var is a special one because it's already declared the JavaScript. So you should not use the var again variable name. So that's the reason if you want to use any like a VAR, say uppercase V I used, then it's good, fine. It will be executing because you know that. So JavaScript is a what does it means? Like a so case sensitive. Case sensitive is nothing but uppercase letter, lowercase letter. It will consider differently. If I give a VAR, you can see the VAR means V means uppercase. Then automatically it will feel that yes, this is a another name. Okay, it's not a keyword. It won't be feel it's a keyword. It is a another name is there. So that's the reason it will show that is a var and uppercase I given V means okay, good. For example, I'll show var x lowercase I given. X is equals to 5 I given. See here, and var uppercase x I given is equals to 6 I given. Right? Then so alert. I need to display small x. Then it will give a 5. If I write to use a uppercase, then you can see 6. Meaning means so it won't be accept. It won't be checking that whether it is a both are same. As per our so normal human people can identify yes, x is a value and y x sorry uppercase is also uppercase x is also same. Uppercase and lowercase both are same, but the compiler cannot be identified both are same or not. So it will consider the lowercase is the one variable and uppercase the same letters we are using, but uppercase. So definitely it is using as a so new variables. That's why. So that is a case sensitive. So JavaScripting is a case sensitive. Okay. So that's the one more thing. And next one will go with a so yes, case sensitive. I said just now. I shown example here in the material. I'll share after this completion of the class. So in this material, you can see that DOE is a last name is a N is a uppercase. You can see. I'll show once again. See, last name means N is a uppercase in middle. See that last name in this N is a lowercase. That's why the compiler will feel that both are in a different variables. It can feel. So that's the reason. So, and next one underscore just now what I said. And next one is a camel cases. What is the meaning of the camel case? That's a very interesting thing, camel case. Right. I'll write one okay sentence to you. Okay, this is a book. Okay, on table. So this is a book on table. So just like I written one sentence. So for is it meaningful or not? That's a different one. Or we need to understand the concept. So this is a book on table. Right. Good. So now same line I'm ready to change little bit. So this is sorry. This is a book on table. See how it look like that. So totally different. So first line is having the each and every word is having some space. Then automatically the next word will start. After completion of the word, then the space will be there. Next word will start. So these are this line will explaining about the clearly how we can read. Good. So but the next line you can see in this line so what does it means? I return whole and soul, all words at a time without any spaces. But it is not looks nice. So while reading of this kind of the matter, it's very difficult, right? So that's why I need to change little bit. So this is a book on table. You can see. So we have some little bit change on the particular I think book. Sorry, this is right. Okay. See, compared to the second line, the third line is somewhat a little bit good because of the reason each and every word we started with a uppercase letter. That's the reason. This is called as a camel case. So this is called as a camel case. And we have the two kind of camel cases are there. One is the camel case and another one is a lower camel case. So what is that lower camel? This is called as the upper camel case. Why? What is the reason? So this is the upper camel case means simple. I'll write first of all upper camel case. So why this is upper camel case means the starting letter of the sentence started with the uppercase. The remaining as it is a that is the upper camel case. If I go with a lower camel case, how we can change? So this is a book on table. See, same as this. So up above sentence and this below sentence both are look same, but the starting letter is the T is here. There is an uppercase. That's why upper camel case. So if it is a lower case, then it should be a lower camel case. Okay, lower camel case. These are the reason so we can use. Okay, so we have some doubt. The big question. So is it really using in our service now side? So every time I'm just giving that information about that particularly, so semicolon, okay, empty spaces, and as well as naming rules and everything I'm saying. That's why if you know that, so service now some APIs. So I'm giving one example to you. Okay, just I'll show one example. What kind of example? Var, for example, gr is equals to glide record is equals to new glide record. Okay, this is an example only. We not yet enter into that API side. Just I'm showing that where we are using. That's it. So incident. Okay. So then you can see here. So here the camel case is there, right? You can see the glide record. The glide means that is starting with a uppercase, and you can see that when the word has entered, means the another word will ready to continue without space. Then that uppercase it was clean. So this is a upper camel case. These APIs are using. For example, instead of this R, I'm using the lowercase r means you will get a error. So 100% because the all APIs are in a camel case only. 100% you can check it all APIs in a camel case only. And for example, this is a server-side scripting glide record object. And for example, if I use a g underscore form dot, okay, so get value, you can see get value, for example, short description. Okay, so if I given like this, see this API will explain that this is a lower camel case. You can see get is started with a lower case and the V is started with a uppercase. That's the reason we can use the lower and upper camel case. If you forgot, so while writing any API with a lowercase letter, you return uppercase letter, you return lowercase means definitely you will get errors. That is the major theme. You need to learn the basic same comments. Okay. So what is meant by comments? The comments are very, very interesting thing because see some people they don't have knowledge on the scripting, but he's a your manager. Okay. How can you explain? For example, I written a comment. For example, var x is equals to so x value I given like this. If I need to explain, so this is a declaration. I need to explain to the some other people while who are right to watching my script. That people they don't have knowledge on the scripting, but they need to identify what happening in that particular scripting. So they want to identify. So that's the reason we need to use a single line comments are there, and next one is a multi-line comments also there. So single line comments and multi-line comments means single lines comments are using in a double backslash and multi-line comments I'll say. See, so single line comment means double backslash I return. So this is a variable declaration. So I written like this. Okay, fine. So the compiler is not to execute that backslash after right side what it will be there up to the end of the line. So it cannot be execute. So that's fine. For example, I'll show in a practically whether you will get the error or not. You can see. So in our online compilers area, for example, this area x is equals to 5 I given. So I'm going to write a code. So this is a variable declaration. So I return like this. But if you want to, if without using the comment line, then if you run, then what will happen? So this is the variable declaration is the unexpected identifier because compiler is running that area. So that is not a proper instructions. That's why if I use the simply backslashes, two backslashes, if I use, then if you run automatically, no doubt at all, So your scripting is not getting any effect because of the reason, a double backslash you given. So after double backslash, the total entire line of the right side, so it cannot be acceptable. Means that it just cannot be executed. So it will, while the compiler will come to this area, if the double backslash is there, then automatically it will skip that line and it will go back to, it will go to the next line. So that is the reason. So the double backslash is there. So this is a comment. Single line comments are there. Okay, I don't have a single comment. I want to write a multiple comments. Multiple comments means like a multiple lines I need to define. Then how it is possible? Multiple lines means, so every time each and every line I don't want to use a double backslash and everything. I want to write a 3-4 lines. Okay, so in between the code, then it's possible to write a backslash star, then I'm writing some information like a empty. That is my wish. How many lines you want to write? Your wish, you can write. And after writing the comment, after completion of the comment, definitely you can end the comment. The starting of the comment be given as a backslash and star, and ending of the comment should be using as a again star and slash. So then it cannot be, okay, execute the comment option. Got it? So if you give any kind of information, you can see that backslash star and as well as the star slash. So these two are the starting and ending points. You don't get any kind of the what does it means? You don't get any kind of the execution in between the values, between the comments, right? So that's the reason we can use a single line comments and as well as multi-line comments also we can use. Just a minute. Okay, right. Right, that is the multi-line and single line comments are there. So you can see these are the operators also we need to use. Just now what I said in a while starting of the code. So we said that that is a equal is a assigning operator, right? Yes or no? So you can see here in example, x is equals to 5, y is equals to 2, and here these both are assigning. And here the third one is also assigning. See, equal. But where is the arithmetic operators are there? Where is the comparison operators are there? We need to discuss in detail. Okay. So plus is a addition. It's very one. Everyone knows that plus is the addition. Okay, but the plus is not addition also sometimes because I'll go with a while scripting. We can, I will explain everything to you. Don't worry. So what does it means? Plus is a it's not a addition. Sometimes we are using the concatenation operator also. Just before that, I'm saying to you, if you know that concatenation meaning, so you will get it. So concatenation is nothing but combining two different type of names or strings, whatever it may be. That is a concatenation. In a further classes, I'll discuss with you. Don't worry. So plus is a addition and minus is a subtraction and star is a multiplication and double star is also explaining about the exponential and okay, slash is nothing but division, and next one, the percentage is a modulus, and plus plus is nothing but increment. So most probably up to percentage we know very well. The plus plus means it is a, here is a increment. Increment is nothing but plus one. So if you use any number, one is there plus one, two. So 10 is there plus one, 11, like this. So minus minus is nothing but minus one. So one is decreasing. That's the reason we can use that plus plus and minus minus. Okay. So these are the arithmetic operators. Now we'll go with that comparison operators. So where we are using the comparison operators, I'll show to you. Okay. See, first of all, the I said that equal is nothing but assigning operator. I said it's good, fine. But where is the comparison operator? Because if I use any condition, the comparison operator plays an important role in that area. Okay, comparison, is it both are equal or not? Both are getting true value or not? Then only this kind of the some values we need to execute like this. So that's the reason the double equals to is a equal to. While writing a code, if you are using a single equal, while comparison area, if you use a single equal, you will get a error 100%. Okay, so if you use a double equals, then only it is a comparison, right? And triple equals is there now. So triple equals is nothing but it is a type and value both are equal, then only it can accept. So type means we have the different type of variable types are there. Like a variables are there, like a string type of variables are there, like a integer type of variables are there, floating point type of variables are there. So different type of variables will be present. Okay. And next one is a not equals to also there. Not equals to means so these are the not equals and not double equals if I keep. So here it can write to check about that is a value and as well as data type also. Both it will check. And like a greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, less than or equals to, and ternary operator. These are all you know very well about that greater than, less than, and or equals to like this. So then the ternary operator is also there. That is a question mark is a ternary operator. Most probably we are not using this ternary operator in your service no side. That's why just you can for knowledge purpose you can say you can keep in your mind that like a ternary operator is a question mark. Then we'll go with the examples also. Assigning operators they given as the examples how it should be. Okay, if I write x plus is equals to y is equal that as it is, it looks like x is equals to x plus y. So I'll provide the material to you. Don't worry. So you can check it again. What kind of the assigning operators are there and what's the major role in that. Everything I will provide to you material. Okay, so big interesting thing is if you want to write a data type. So data type means just now what I said, like a string, number, and like a Boolean, array, undefined. So these are all values are there. It's very important to learn this one. Simple. In a ServiceNow side, the string will be defined with a double quotes. You can see the string will be using a double quotes or otherwise single quotes is also useful. But my suggestion is to use the double quotes in a string area. If you want to use a string, then you can use a double quotes. Why? You know, because of the reason single quotes are using for the declaration of your variables. Just now I written something somewhere I written like this. See, for example, in a code, I written already one code. So just again I will show where gr is equals to new glide record. Okay, so new glide record in that in single quotes incident I given. What is mean by what is the main use case of this area? Glide record object is using this incident table. If I in so unfortunately if I use this that double quotes, then what happened? You know the total code is an error, like a code is a mistake one because of the reason incident is defining as a string, but the glide record object is not taking any string in that area. So that's why. So comments are any strings we can define with a double quotes or single quotes also not a problem. But in our service now side, single quotes are defining as a table names or variable names. Sorry, field names. So that's why you better to avoid while writing a string in a single quotes. So better to use so double quotes while for the writing of your string. So that is my suggestion to you all. If you want to write a single quotes, no problem. Error is on. You won't get any error, but you cannot identify which is a field value, which is a string. That is a problem. That's what I'm saying to you. And you know that it's a number. You know very well about that. Like a points we can use. Like a without points also. Like a without decimals also we can use that number. Okay, so simply it can write to store as a numbers like a so numerical values. Major thing is nothing but Boolean values also there. What is meant by Boolean values? Boolean value is nothing but either true or false, whatever it may be. That's it. Only single statement. So it cannot be written any value. It cannot be find out. It cannot be showing any value. It can identify whether the condition is true or false. These only two conditions can try to work on it. For example, you can see and x is equals to 5 is there, y is equals to also 5 is there, z equals to 6 I given, x double equals to y because see that double equals to means a comparison. So what happened? It returns a true. That's it. It cannot be showing the true name. So whether we can return any condition or anything, so that can execute. If x double is equals to z, then it becomes false because of the reason x is a 5, z is equals to 6. Both are not equal. That's the reason. Okay. So that's the next one. And next one is the array type also there. Array means what is that? Array. So most of the people they don't doesn't have knowledge on that arrays, but simple way I'll say. So you know that up to your 10th class or intermediate area, so you have some kind of the matrix topics is there. Matrix. Okay. So the matrix are there in a two square braces. You can see in a matrix the two square braces 1, 2, 3, or otherwise A, B, C like this will be there. What is the meaning of this one matrix and two square braces between the values means all the values which we initialize in the inside of your square braces related to the particular value what we assign into a left side. For example, in this area you can see the car is a one array. How we can define the array means we can use a square braces. You can see square brackets. So in the square brackets, I use the SAB is a one car name and comma Volvo is a one car name and BMW is also one car name I given. Three different type of name of the car names I given. So these are all the variables you can store into a car array, right? So actually the car is a one array. It can write to store multiple variables in it. If I want to write a sab means simple cars dot sab means automatically the array values we can define it. So that's the reason how to define that array means like a between the square braces we can define the array, and undefined means if you are not assigning any value then it's showing as a undefined. That's it, very simple. And if you want to give a any empty space is also fine. Okay, and this is alert and console dot not using in your ServiceNow side, so it is only for using in your browser. So just now what I used here, I said already just this is a this area, this alert we are using. But these alert are console.log. If I use a console.log, okay, so it is a display function. So it can try to display the value which we need to provide inside of your parenthesis, like a value. So in this area, I'm going to say that, for example, if I don't want to use a console.log, so it won't give any output function. It won't show any result. It will execute, but it is not showing any result in the area. Okay, so that's the reason. So these are the console.log we are using, but these console.log we are not using in our ServiceNow side. We have the output functions are different functions are there, like a add error message, add so info message, like this kind of the topics will be there. So we don't worry about that area. So I'll explain each and every terminology, every API I need to explain step by step.
వెల్కమ్ టు వర్షిత ఎడ్యుకేషన్ క్లాసెస్. ఏంటి ఈ వర్షిత ఎడ్యుకేషన్ క్లాసెస్ ద్వారా ఏమి ఇవ్వబోతున్నా నేను? సో మీకు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ సంబంధించినటువంటి పూర్తి వివరాలను చెప్పబోతున్నాను. ఈ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఈ యొక్క సాఫ్ట్వేర్లో మనం ఒక మంచి టూల్ నేర్చుకొని సాఫ్ట్వేర్లో స్థిరపడాలి అని అంటే ఎలా స్థిరపడవచ్చు, సో మన యొక్క పూర్తి ఫ్యూచర్ అనేటువంటిది ఎలా ఉండబోతుంది, ఇవన్నిటి గురించి నేను వర్షిత ఎడ్యుకేషన్లో మీకు పూర్తి వివరాలు ఇవ్వడానికి సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నాను. అయితే మీరు చేయాల్సిందల్లా ఒకటే, మీరు వర్షిత ఎడ్యుకేషన్ యాప్ను డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవడం ద్వారా కావచ్చు, లేదా మన వర్షిత ఎడ్యుకేషన్ యొక్క వెబ్సైట్ను సందర్శించడం ద్వారా కావచ్చు, ఈ మధ్యలో జరిగేటువంటి ఏదైనా లైవ్ సెషన్స్ కావచ్చు లేదా ట్రైనింగ్ సెషన్స్ కావచ్చు, సో ఇవన్నీ డీటెయిల్స్ అన్నీ కూడా మీకు కనిపిస్తాయి. మీరు ట్రైనింగ్ సెషన్స్లో పాల్గొనవచ్చు, అదేవిధంగా లైవ్ సెషన్స్లో కూడా పాల్గొని మీ డౌట్స్ క్లారిఫై చేసుకోవచ్చు. మీకు ఎటువంటి డౌట్ ఉన్నా కూడా నాతోని డైరెక్ట్గా మాట్లాడవచ్చు. సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అంటే ఏంటో పూర్తిగా ఒక కోడింగ్ లేని సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఎలా మనం బిల్డ్ చేసుకోవాలనే విషయాన్ని మనం చెప్పడం జరుగుతుంది. మరి ఎందుకు ఆలస్యం, మీరు మన వర్షిత ఎడ్యుకేషన్ .in అనేటువంటి వెబ్సైట్ను సందర్శించవచ్చు, లేదా ప్లే స్టోర్లో మీకు వర్షిత ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అని టైప్ చేసిన తర్వాత మీకు యాప్ అనేది కనబడుతుంది. ఆ యాప్ను డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి.
In the JavaScript basics, we need to discuss about the Boolean data type, conditional statements, and as well as comparison and logical operators like a if condition, if else conditions, like a functions also we need to discuss. Because of the reason why we need to learn this kind of the all the basics of your JavaScript. In a ServiceNow side, so each and everything is important, like a semicolon. Yesterday we discussed like a, so if you use a semicolon, so if you use any kind of the particular spaces and naming conventions and everything is very, very important. Each and everything is the important to your writing of your code. In a further, future like a server-side scripting and so client-side scripting is there in your ServiceNow side. So each and everything is very, very important. That's why we need to learn some kind of the basics. So that's we need to discuss the JavaScript basics again. So in the JavaScript basics, now today we are going to discuss about the Boolean data type. Okay. So now we will consider that any Boolean data type. Yesterday also we discussed the Boolean data type. So that's why we'll continue that Boolean data type information. For example, the backend is the Booleans can only have the two values. One is a true and another one is a false. So if any value can write to satisfy or otherwise the value is right to condition is right to just satisfies that value, then automatically it will give as a true or otherwise it will be giving as a false statement like a false. So these two are Boolean data types. So it cannot return any kind of the value. It can try to check whether the condition is satisfying or not. If it is not satisfied, then it will giving as a false name. Means that's a false. That it's not to return any value. So consider here the x is equals to 5 is there. The x is equals to 5 is nothing but there is a 5 is assigned to a x variable. So then the y is equals to 5 is nothing but the 5 is assigned into the y variable. Now in that area, x variable contains the 5 value and y variable contains the 5 value. So both are same, right? And z value is also declared that is a variable z is equals to 6 I given. So what is the meaning of that? So x and y having the same number, but the z is not having same number. That's the reason x double is equals to y. If I return any conditional statement, then automatically what will happen? It will shows that x double is equals to y is nothing but it becomes true because of the reason we see that so single equals to is showing as a assigning operator and as well as the double equals to is showing as a so comparison operator. So that's why the double equals to I given. So the double equals to is showing as a comparison operator. Then it will check. So x value is a 5. Now the y value is also 5. Then automatically it returns a true value. If in case x is equals to double equals to z if I keep, then automatically what will happen? So the phi is in x and the z in contains 6. That's why. So both are not equal. That's why there's a reason x double is equals to z means it returns a false statement. Got it? So that's the reason you can use this is a, I think someone has joined. Just a minute. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay, now let's we continue. So in this area, you can see that conditional statements are there. So what the conditional statement, what is the meaning of the conditional statement means? Conditional statements are used to perform different actions based on different conditions. Very often when you write a code, you want to perform different actions for different decisions. You can use the conditional statements in your code to do this. So meaning is, for example, if a conditional statement is there, conditional statement is nothing but if we need to satisfy particular condition, then automatically some kind of the code we can write to execute. If it is failed, then what happened? It will go for the next level. So these are the conditional statements. Just now, what I written x double is equals to 5. This is a conditional only. It's like a statement I written. So whether it is a satisfying the condition or not. So we need to check by using of x double is equals to y and x double is equals to z is also statement. That is a conditional statement. Okay, so we are using the conditional statements by using of your if condition and else if condition, like a switch condition is also conditional statements are there. So most probably if condition, else if condition or else condition we are using in our so service now, so JavaScript. Okay, so for this reason, I need to go with a online compilers. I'll check that if condition, how it will be everything. I'll show with a online compilers. So we can use the online compilers are there. JavaScript online compilers are there. So in the JavaScript online compilers, we can, so we go with a online JavaScript compiler. If I just click on this one, we can see, okay, just a minute. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, now here this is a online compilers. So in this compilers, I need to check, I need to show. So here there is a if statement. So here once we need to write the declaration of the variable. So every code will start with a declaration because so without declaration, without there is a variable initializations, that scripting is not function. So that's the reason var is a variable initialization of a variable var will be there. Okay, so then in a var variable, here you can see if I give a var variable x, x is equals to, so what we are going to assign, for example, 5 number, I'm going to assign to the x. So then if condition, I need to write a if condition. So if condition x double is equals to 5, then automatically what will happen, condition is satisfying or not? Yes, sure, it is a ready to satisfy because x value contains the 5, and as well as I'm giving the 5 value only. That's why this is the conditional statement I need to show. If I return parenthesis we started and x double is equals to 5, and then I'll start with a curly braces. So these are the statement conditional area. So like a x double is equals to 5 is a conditional statement. So if is a conditional, okay now. So here I need to write a code. What we need to display. For example, if condition can satisfy x double is equals to 5 is a ready to satisfy the condition, then it will enter into the curly braces. Then it will execute this area alert. I'm writing the output function alert. What is that alert? So the value, the x value is, the x value is 5. That's it. So I need to display this value, just like a string I need to display. So simply when I write to click on running, run, what is that? The x value is 5, it is showing. Okay. So that's the reason we can see the condition will satisfy, it will write to just enter in this area. If the condition is not satisfying, if x is equals to double is equals to 6 I given, then what will happen? If I write to click on run, then nothing will have right to display because of the reason, you know. So if condition is not satisfying, x double is equals to 6 is not satisfying. So that's the reason x is equals to, if it is not satisfying, then what is the next condition? So if means if it is condition is satisfying, it will write to enter. If not, what happened? So here, so else we need to write. So else means if condition is not satisfying, if condition is not satisfying, then automatically we'll go for the else condition. So that too, we can give a curly braces. In this curly braces alert, I am going to provide alert. And here there is a, what is the conditions we need? What is the string we need to write? The x value is not 5. That's it. Okay, so you can see if I'm ready to just click on run, then automatically what is the meaning of this one? Okay, so what is the reason? You can see here x is the x value is not 5. So not 5 means the else condition is executing. If it is satisfied, then automatically it won't come back. So it will go not to enter into the else area. So that's the reason run. The x value is 5, and so if it is not satisfying the first condition, then it will go for the alert, and it is showing as a, so x value is not 5. Okay, fine. So this is a if condition I return, else condition also I return. I want to go with a else if condition. What does mean by else if condition? Means if I ready to satisfy this condition, okay, if not, we will go with a another condition, means we need to go with a another area to check again. So that's the reason I need to write a else again if. Okay, if I return, so then x double is equals to, if it is a 6, so here I am going to provide the 6 value 6, then the x value is 6. Okay, fine. So x value is 6. If I'm going to provide like this, fine. If not, so x value is not a 5, x value is not a 6. So then what will happen means else. Again else. So else condition we can go and we can write the alert again. Okay, alert, and you can see. So the value, the X value is not 5 and 6. Okay, simply I'm going to provide like this. So simply if I'm ready to just click on running. Okay, so just a minute, all of you, just be online. Okay. Yeah, I think sorry for that. So we'll continue. Okay, right. The X value is a 6. So if condition and else if condition also we are writing, and then in this area, so we are going to just check that whether the condition is satisfying or not. The conditional statements what we discussed, if condition, if else condition, and as well as else condition we discussed. So in a multiple areas we need to check whether there is a satisfying or not. The condition is satisfying or not. So that area we need to display. And next one will go with a for example, conditional statements we given. So logical statements are given to you. Just you can see here, x is equals to 5 I given. So once you see, so you already know that you know very well about that double equals to is nothing but it is a comparison operator. If not double equals to is not keeping, then automatically it is giving as a single equals to showing as a assignment operator only. So that's the reason x double is equals to 8. Here that is the x double is equals to 8 means I already declared that x is equals to 5. Okay, in this area, if I just keep as the x double is equals to 8, then automatically it is showing as a result is a false because conditional statement is a false. So why I given, you know, you can see x double is equals to 5, then it becomes as a true because x value I given the 5 and as well as we are checking with a 5 value, then automatically it is showing as a true, and x double is equals to in a double quotes I given 5 number because of the reason, you know. So why I given the double quotes 5 means the double quotes are indicating as a string data type. Okay, so that's the reason it is not considering as a data type. So it is not considering the data type. That's why it is giving as a true value. If it is considering the data type, you can see here. So triple equals is nothing but value and as well as data type both are ready to consider. So that's the reason it's showing as a false value because of the reason, you know. So this is the x value is a numerical value is there, like a so integer values are there, and as well as so these double quotes we are giving as a 5 number means it is a string value. So that's why data type is not equal. So at the reason, so it is showing as a returns is a false. Okay, so that's the reason, and x triple equals to 5 is like a true, and you can see and x naught is equals to 8 means true because x in a variable x variable contains the 5 number, and now here there is a 8 I am giving that 2 is not equals, that's why 100% is a true, and x not equals to 5 means it is a false statement. So these are the some of the examples which we given to you. So you can, because of the reason why I provide this all kind of the logics means while we are writing a code, you can be able to identify yes which condition is satisfying. The JavaScript compilers, the system is executing the logic, whether it is a logical errors are occurring or any kind of the errors will try to generate before going to get a result. You can easy to identify by checking of your code. So that is very important for the so identification of your code. Okay, so that's the reason we'll go with a logical operators also. We can use the logical operators actually. So we are using the logical operators. Operators is nothing but and operator means there is a double and symbol. Okay, if I use a double and symbol, then only it can write to show. So it can write to satisfy. See here, in a x is equals to I given 6 and y is equals to I given 3 number. So x is equals to 6 and y is equals to 3 I given. So I already declared. See here in this example, if I want to write a and, so operator, logical operator, I need to write and. So and means, see here, x less than 10. Okay, and double and symbol, then only it's showing as a and. So, and y is greater than 1, then it becomes as a true. Because of the reason x value is a 6, below 10, it's a 100% satisfying that condition. And as well as the y is greater than 1, definitely y is equals to 3. So, both are satisfying, then automatically the condition will become as a true condition. And if I go with a or means simple, you can use that or is a two pipes. So two pipes, if I'm going to keep like this, then it is a symbol of OR. Okay. So x double is equals to 5 and y double is equals to 5 means both are not satisfying any of these conditions. Okay, x value is like 6 actually, but it is showing to the 5. But y value is having 3, but y value is showing as a 5. So that's why both are having the false value, means it is not satisfying. Then automatically it is showing as a false. And not x is equals to y means 100% true, because of the reason x is not equals to y. It's 100% correct. So that's the reason we can use a logical operators also in this area. So just now what I give an example to you, you can see. So if condition, if else conditions, what I explained. See, if condition, if I write if condition in a parenthesis, we can use a condition statement like a, so x is equals to y or x is equals to 10 something. So conditional statements we need to provide in this area. Then after that, so we don't want to keep any semicolons because it is a, so if condition, I'm using that syntax is like this. Okay, so we don't want to use any semicolon here. And if you want to use the curly braces in the same line, okay. If not, another line also is good. Okay, so but if you open that any curly braces, definitely you can close somewhere in that code. Okay, so that area in this open and close curly braces, in between these two only we need to write some kind of the like a output functions, whatever may be output we need to give, or any kind of the execution of the field values, everything we need to write for the conditional after condition satisfies. So if the condition is right to, if condition is right to satisfy this area, then it will enter into the curly braces. What kind of the things we need to provide, we can provide it like a alert messages, we can the field values and everything we can provide in this area. Then if it is not satisfying the condition, then what will happen? See here example I given, the if hour is greater than 18, then it given as a greeting is equals to good day. So if it is satisfied, then automatically it will show that good day. If it is not satisfied, then it is not giving as a good day. So means simply it is not executing. And else statement also just now I said, see here. So these are the syntax for the else condition. So else again curly braces we started and open and close curly braces we used. And here the example we given. So that's the reason, and we can go with a else if condition. You see here the multiple conditions we need to check on a particular area, like a if condition. If I give that if condition one is there, else again if you are providing that is if condition, that is a condition two. So these are the condition one and condition two. If you want to use a more conditions, means we can use else if, again else if we can use. So if all are not satisfied, all are become false, so all conditions become false, then automatically what will happen? The else condition can be ready to work. So that's the reason we can use this kind of the, so if condition, else if conditions and all those things. You can see I given one example to you. If time is less than 10, if you already just given the time value, I already initialize the time value. For example, if I already initialize time and as well as greeting. Okay. If the time is less than 10, then automatically what it will show is that it is a good morning. If it is a time is less than 20, then it is a good day, it will try to provide. And if else, so not a below 10, 10 not below the 20 means automatically it will give as a good evening only. So these kind of the multiple conditions or multiple so statements we need to give for the execution area. And then finally, so we need to discuss one more area, that is the function, like a function or method. What is meant by function? A JavaScript function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. For example, I'll say to you in a practical manner, I'll say to you all, for example, if I want to use a one code, So one calculations are there. It's like a formula. If you feel that it's a formula, in our childhood, we already learned about the like a plus b whole square is equals to a square plus b square plus 2ab. So one that is a formula, right? So when a plus b whole square will be there, then automatically what will happen? So we will have that concentration. Yes. So we need to do that. A plus b whole square means the a square we have to do that, and as well as b square we can do, and we are ready to do that 2ab, and as well as we all combine together. That is the functionality. That is a formula declarations. So same as is if I want to use any specific code, I written some code for the particular area like a multiplication, whatever it may be. So that code I written, so that code we can be used to in a multiple areas in a single line statement. So multiplication, for example, I'm using a multiplication. That multiplication I'm using a different areas. That too in the same code. I'm not going to say that other than this code. So if you are writing in a JavaScript, so one area I already declared some functional values. So then that functional values we are using in some other areas. Means there's a multiple we are calling the function. So that's the reason. I'll show this one example to you all. So generalized example. So we need to show. So if I just consider any of your statements like a so JavaScript online compilers I'm using in this area. For example, I want to write the var variable declaration x is equals to, I'm going to declare a variable x. Okay, x is equals to what I'm going to design means you can see multiplication. So multiplication I'm using, and there is a 5 comma 6. I'm giving the multiplication instead of the parenthesis I given 5 comma 6. Okay, so simply you can see here var x means the variable is a x. So x is a one variable we declared. Everything will be fine. But what is the main use of that multiplication? Is it any function as already declared means at the time? So we not yet declared any kind of the functions. So multiplication, the back end of your JavaScript doesn't have any knowledge. Okay, so that's why, and that too is the 5 comma 6 why we given also. So the JavaScript is not identified, because if you want to just like a clicking on the run button, you can see the multiplication is not understanding. It is not defined. They are saying that not defined. Good. So now we need to rectify that. We are ready to resolve that problem. So we'll go with a alert. So what kind of alert we need to write? So we need to provide the x value. I need to display the x value. Okay, fine, it's completed. But I need to define, I need to declare the multiplication, whether it is a function or variable, whatever it may be, we need to declare it, right? So that's the reason we are right to write a function. Write a function. I'm using function, and what the kind of the function it will be already I just given, that is a multiplication, that is a function. Okay, in a parenthesis I'm giving a variables a comma b, I'm giving the variables. So next line I'm going to keep a curly braces. So in the curly braces what I'm going to give that return. So what we need to return, so a and b, a is multiplied with a b, that's it. Okay, so var x is equals to multiplication 5 comma 6. So alert I'm going to provide x, means there is a, so we need to display x value. So if the condition will try to go with a x area, then automatic multiplication is there. Multiplication it will check, it can check that whether it is a function or not, whether the function is there or not. Yes, the function is there, multiplication is a one function. Then automatically in a parenthesis what I given 5 comma 6. That's why in a value it will keep it as a 5, and b variable it will keep as a 6. So both are having the a value 5, b value is a 6. Then what it will return, a is multiplied with a b, means 5 into 6. Okay, so if I try to run this, you can see the 30 values it is providing because of the reason, So these are the function we already called. Okay, what I said that these are the reusable code I said. Okay, so you can use the reusable. Reusable means in another area also we can use the same multiplication function. Then is it right, or we'll check it or not. So var y is equals to, where y is equals to, you can see, so where y is equals to multiplication. Okay, so multiplication. So for example, 12 comma 13, I'm going to provide here. Once you see, so I'm going to print that alert. Okay, by value I need to provide. So you can see here the function is same, but the values are defining. So the result of the value is a different. Is it right or not? So because the 5 into 6 is the 30, we know the 12 into 13 is also multiplication. Because of the reason I already given one function. So we are using multiplication function is a different areas with a different type of parameters we are using. That's the reason you can see that x is equals to multiplication 5 comma 6 and multiplication 12 comma 13 means this is a 156 is the coming answer, right? So these are the written values are there. And after completion of this one, I need to just provide one example also. You can practice it. So whether it is a really it is showing the value or not. See, here the 4 comma 3 example we given, that's a multiplication function I given. Okay, the result they given as a everything will be fine. You know very well about that how to convert into the Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius, right? For example, if I'm going to use any Celsius functionality, so this is the one formula, right? So everyone can know that this formula how to convert into Fahrenheit to so Celsius or Celsius to Fahrenheit scale. So that's the reason you can see I'm providing there's a 2 Celsius is the one function we are providing. Okay. If I given any value, just I will show practically in this so scripting area, you can see var. So like a 2 Celsius. So I'm not providing total word. So I'm declaring as a 2 Celsius is equals to. So function name. Okay. So what is the function name? We need to just provide that is a 2 Celsius. Okay. 2 Celsius. So 2 Celsius and we are giving that, for example, which we need to transfer to the Celsius area. Okay. For example, the value I'm going to provide there is a 120. For example, I'm giving so 120. See here, then alert. I'm going to alert and I want to just display that 2 cell because the value is having in this 2 cell variable. Okay, everything will be fine. But we are not declared the functional values. So formula we not yet declared. That's why reason. So 2 Celsius function. Sorry, I'm going to write the function. So 2 Celsius. So 2 Celsius. What variable we Fahrenheit FH. I'm going to take a variable Fahrenheit FH. That's it. And like a curly braces, we need to start curly braces in this return. Okay. So what we need to write? We need to write a code like a. So we see here 5 by 9 into Fahrenheit minus 32. Right. I'm going to write a brackets 5 by 9. Sorry. 5 by 9 is multiplied with a so Fahrenheit minus, so what is it? Fahrenheit minus 32, right? So that's why Fahrenheit, what's the value of the Fahrenheit in this A variable? FH, sorry. So FH minus 32. So this is the formula I'm going to provide. So simple. If I try to just run that button, you can see 48 point something, 88 something, we are going to get the result. Because if I'm going to provide any value, if I'm going to just give a 100, so we'll convert into that in the see here. So 37 point something we will be there. So these are the calculations we are ready to utilize and we are ready to just keep it at all the conditions by using a functionality. So that is a function, right? And in this also, we have some local variable and global variables also there. So what is meant by local and global variables? So if any difference is there, local and global variables means simple. So in a local variables, what we are ready to think, if I try to declare a value, for example, simple, in our day-to-day, we can see that, say some people, they are saying that I'm living in a village, for example. So what I'm going to say, I'm a local to this village. If any some other people will come to my village, so they are the so other people. So we are local. Same as this. In this area, if the open and closed curly braces, when I write to take as a open and closed curly braces, in between these two values, sorry, these two areas, in between these two, if I try to declare any value, if I try to print that value, whatever it may be, you can do it. But if you come out of the curly braces, that it is not having any knowledge on that variable. So I'll show once. So see here in this curly braces, okay, I'm going to declare the var z is equals to, what is the z is equals to means value I given 5. Okay, so I need to print that value like a alert. I need to print a Z value. Fine, everything will be fine. It can try to print it. You can see. So it is showing as a value is a 5. Everything will be good. But same alert value means display function I need to write outside of the curly braces. So you can see outside of the curly braces, if I write a return, I need to just give a output of the Z value. Is it possible to give a return means wrong? Because of the reason, Z value, it is not defining. Because of the reason, I already declared the Z value, but why it is showing as a not defined means simple. These kind of the alert value means this Z variable will contain the local area. So these curly braces open and close the curly braces between the values only we need to define, we need to display the value. If not, if you come outside of the curly braces, it doesn't have any value means the z is not a variable, it is not declared now. So if you come out of the curly braces, like var, again I'm going to declare z is equals to 10. If I'm going to declare, because of the reason after curly braces it cannot be having any value of the z. See, it can try to display the so 10 because of the reason. So it will come out of the variable, out of the curly braces. Again, it will define the z variable. It will store the 10 value in it. So that's the reason we are ready to provide the values to the local and global variables. Okay, so global variable is nothing but if you are going to provide this is a var to cell is there now. This is a global variable because before the starting of the code we just defined the variable name and as well as so these variable can try to utilize in the throughout the script. So that's the reason. So that is the local and global variables definitions. Okay, so these are the informations we are trying to provide the local and global variable side. So I hope you understood. So if you have any queries, if you have any doubts or anything, you can ask me because these are all our basic of the your JavaScript. So most of the people are going to think about that maybe so it is a basic functionality. But if you miss this basic functionality while writing a code in your ServiceNow side, you will face a lot of problems. So that's the reason I'm going to so explain the basic terminologies. By tomorrow, we'll explain about the looping statements, and then we can move to the ServiceNow side and the ServiceNow what the client side scriptings are there. So server side scriptings are there. How many APIs are there? Like a glide classes are there. So APIs. If you learn that API thoroughly, then you are the perfect in your code. Okay. So I'll explain in a further one or two classes. We'll start with the APIs and everything. So we'll give a practical scenarios also for this area. Okay. So I hope you understood. If you have any queries or anything, you